Hey friend, welcome to Grounded, the vestibular podcast. I'm Dr. Madison Oak, aka the Vertigo Doctor. I am the vestibular physical therapist who is here to help you with all things dizziness, imbalance, and vertigo. In this podcast, we explore the fascinating world of vestibular disorders. Come with me as we dive headfirst into a journey to discover the mysteries of the brain, the inner ear, and the balance mechanisms that keep us grounded. Whether you've been managing dizziness for one day or 25 years, we're going to get real about what it takes to manage dizziness, handle the anxiety cycle, and thrive, not just survive, with your vestibular disorder. First, I want to remind you that this is never medical advice. Remember, this podcast is for informational purposes only and may not be the best fit for you and your personal situation. It shall not be construed as medical advice. The information and education provided here is not intended or implied to supplement or replace professional medical treatment, advice, and or diagnosis. Always check with your own physician, medical professionals, and healthcare team before trying or implementing any information found here. Hello and welcome back to Grounded. Today's win of the week is by Michaela. Michaela says, I had a good week. Nothing insanely big, but I just felt more normal than I felt in a really long time. Without getting dizzy, I got a lot done. Not all in one day, but I did the dishes, laundry, went to the store. I drove myself, had a friend meet me there, which was super helpful. Met a friend at the park, had our girls play for an hour, brought very heavy groceries inside the house by myself, and so many small things that felt so big. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. Michaela has been a member of group for a couple of months and has started implementing a bunch of different things. Obviously, she has been a member since January. I am recording this in the middle of March. And I am obsessed with this because she, again, has had dizziness since October of 2022, when it got really bad enough for her to be like, hey, what's going on? Was misdiagnosed with BPPV, realized it was something else, stuck in the dizzy, anxious, dizzy cycle, is postpartum, is doing all the things, and is like, oh, you know what? If I do X, Y, and Z, doing them consistently, change my mindset, balance my blood sugar, which is what we're talking about today, and do other things that I've seen her post about, this gets better. And that's the whole point of group, is to give you the tools to make sure that you understand that this gets better and how exactly to get yourself there. So you just feel more normal than you felt in a long time, as Michaela said. So congratulations to Michaela. This is absolutely huge. I'm really, really proud and excited for you. I can't wait to see what you do next. All right. Today we are talking about blood sugar. Now, I want to remind you that I am not a dietitian, and if you have trouble with your blood sugar or you feel like this is an issue, I'm going to give you like a general outline, again, because I am not a dietitian. But if you feel like this is an issue for you, you likely need to work with a dietitian, because they are probably going to be the next best step for you. So this matters because a lot of people will say, I'm going to go on a specific diet or an elimination diet or whatever. First and foremost for dizziness, but I actually encourage people, rather than doing that first, to just start to balance their blood sugar. Like, eat more protein, eat more vegetables, see what it is that you can do to stabilize your blood sugar, because ultimately the rapid crashes and spikes are usually what are actually triggering for dizziness and vestibular migraine attacks. This is especially true if you are a person who eats a lot of processed foods, because if you're eating a decent amount of processed foods, which often can be the only thing that feels like you can eat it if you're nauseous, those are even more likely to crash your blood sugar and spike your blood sugar really, really quickly. And this also causes an inflammatory response. Your body cannot take care of general inflammation in your body unless your blood sugar is first stabilized. So your glucose levels matter. In the optimal blood worksheet, which I've talked about a lot, I think, but we'll try and link below. If I don't link it below, send me a DM or comment the word optimal on any of my posts and it will send to you. But we talk about like normal A1C, fasting glucose, things like that, and those, and fasting insulin as well. Those numbers can be really helpful to know. Additionally, protein will support blood sugar. You guys know I talk a lot about eating enough protein. This is not just for fun, it's for muscle gain and lots of other things. Um, it also promotes a steady blood sugar. And then fiber, which is in like fruits, veggies, nuts, seeds, things like that, slows glucose absorption, so that prevents blood sugar spikes and crashes. So ultimately, what you're going to try and do is eat enough protein at every meal and every snack. Generally, we say 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal, and then 10 grams per snack. And again, this will help slow the absorption of any carbs that you're eating, because carbs are not the enemy here, but really big glucose spikes are. So it will help prevent hypoglycemia, which can trigger dizziness and migraine. Some really good, easy sources are going to be Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, plant-based options like lentils, chickpea, tofu, and tempeh can be helpful. Fish, eggs, meats, also are great. I like to start my meals with protein. Um, this is a really good practice if you have a thyroid disorder, but generally, I just like to do this as well. Like start the meal with protein to blunt the response from the carbs as well. Daily, you're going to want to aim for about 25 to 35, up to 40 grams of fiber, depending on the person, to help slow glucose absorption and prevent sugar crashes. So at each meal, you're going to need a couple of grams of fiber at least. You want both soluble and insoluble sources. So vegetables, berries, legumes, chia seeds, flax seeds, things like that are great. Generally, you want to avoid refined carbs. So those things like chips, cookies, stuff like that, stuff that's hyper palatable, so that tastes really good. We're trying to avoid just across the board. Skipping meals. You do not want to skip meals. A lot of people are like, well, I'm just not going to have breakfast, or I always forget to have lunch, or whatever. Most people have dinner, but I forget to have lunch, or I don't want to have breakfast. Try not to skip meals. Like break your fast in the morning within 1 hour of waking is usually the recommendation that I give that works really, really well for people. Um, and I have seen seriously amazing results from this. So a lot of patients and clients who have told me like, oh, since I've started eating more protein and balancing my blood sugar, not eating what's called a naked carb. So not just eating like a bag of chips by themselves or an apple by itself or whatever, stopping doing that and adding in a fat, a protein, a fiber situation with it can or will be ultimately really helpful. And someone last week said to me, like, I think since doing that, I have reduced the number of acute migraine medications I have taken from 9 a month to 4 per month, which means used to be having 9 attacks per month, and now she's having 1 attack per month, which is a phenomenal improvement, and it just keeps getting better. So this is one of those things that does make an absolutely huge difference in people's lives when it's done correctly. Now, I know a lot of people are into maybe intermittent fasting. I do not recommend that for people with migraine. And this is for a lot of reasons. Again, I am not a dietitian. Talk to your own dietitian about what's right for you. But I do find that people who are intermittent fasting tend to have these like really low lows, especially first thing in the morning, and it ends up triggering an attack first thing in the morning. This is something we talk a lot about in vestibular group fit, about how to like make a balanced plate and things like that. If you don't know what group is yet, it is the best way to manage your vestibular disorder from home, especially if you have chronic dizziness, vestibular migraine, triple PD, or if you don't even know what your diagnosis is, we give you the resources to find out as well. Trying to eat every 3 to 4 hours will also help keep your blood sugar levels constant, or consistent, I should say. Little highs and little lows are supposed to happen. They're supposed to be normal. You're not supposed to like eat one thing and then like an hour later eat another thing and an hour later eat another thing, and your blood sugar just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. That is not what we're trying to do. What we are trying to do is like eat every 3 to 4-ish hours slash when you're hungry. And you'll have like a little bit of up and then it'll be down, but stable. And what you can do is you can get a CGM, which is a continuous glucose monitor. A lot of times you can tell your doctor you think you might be struggling with hypoglycemia or prediabetes or something like that, depending on what you might think. Or you can get one online through a company like NutriSense or something like that, which I am not affiliated with. I just know they do this. And you can order one online. If you can get it through insurance, it's obviously going to be less expensive. And just kind of see where you're at. The first couple of weeks, I wouldn't recommend changing anything, just like observing what's going on. And then after that, trying to change things and be like, if I have more protein here or more fiber there or whatever, going to be super helpful. This is also going to be helpful in order to help you build muscle. Building muscle is amazingly helpful because muscle ultimately is your organ of longevity. Again, the organ of longevity. It makes you more resilient from every single disease state pretty much on this planet, and it helps you be more just healthier, not more healthier, helps you be healthier in general. It helps you reduce insulin resistance. It helps you stabilize your blood sugar. It gives glucose a place to live in your body, and you can have more glucose in your body with it living in a place the more muscle you have. So I highly recommend building muscle. We help you do that in vestibular group fit as well. We talk about how to build muscle, what classes you should be taking, what workouts, what movements you should be doing, things like that, because it really does make a difference. So eat enough protein. Don't forget about your fiber. I think that like I've been saying eat enough protein for years now, but when I say that, I do not mean forget about your fiber. Like fiber, the carnivore diet has far too much hype. Fiber is essential for your gut lining, for gut dysbiosis, for your gut to work properly, all of the things. So 10 out of 10 recommend getting on it with your fiber as well. Chia seeds, flax seeds, nuts, fruit, vegetables, trying to get up to 40 grams a day is an excellent goal. All right, thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, please reach out in Vestibular Group Fit. That is where it's easiest to find me. If you don't know where that is or how to sign up, it is all over the place at thevertigodoctor.com. I love you, and I will see you next time on Grounded.